Welcome guys to the Meet Damien channel. I am Damien, and today's live stream we're going to talk about the bad news that came out as far as jobs revisions that came out from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and we're going to talk about how that affected the markets, and then we're going to take a look at the charts here, see how this is affecting crypto and where prices might go from here. We'll also talk about stocks if you guys want to talk about some stocks as well. Don't be afraid to ask about your favorite stock because we can look at that on the charts as well. But yeah, let's get started here. Not the best news that we were looking for, although we were expecting a big revision on the downward side. This was bigger than expected. Okay, job growth. This is an article coming from CNBC Business News here in America. The job growth revised down by 911,000 jobs through March, signaling that the economy is on shakier footing than realized. Annual revisions to non-farm payroll data for the year prior to March 2025 showed a drop of $911,000 from the initial estimate. The numbers, which are adjusted from data in the quarterly census and reflect updated information on business openings and closings, add to evidence that the employment picture is weakening. It looks like the expectations were that they were expecting anywhere between 600,000 jobs less than expected with this revision, and it came in about 900,000. So the revisions are steeper than they thought, and this just adds more fuel to the fire that they need to cut interest rates, and they need to do it now. They're gonna have a meeting next Wednesday. Put that on your calendar, where the Federal Reserve is gonna meet and make a decision on interest rates. And now the betting markets are for damn sure betting 100% that we're gonna get an interest rate cut. And now it's not a matter of are they gonna cut interest rates? It's a matter of how many rate cuts are we going to get and how much the rate cut's going to be. We're expecting a 25 basis point interest rate cut for next week. Could be 50, just to send a message to the markets. Some people think that with them doing a 50 basis point interest rate cut, that might actually scare the markets, that things are worse than expected. So right now the betting markets are just expecting a 25 basis point cut because it's not really that serious. We could still try to fix this problem here in the United States with the jobs market, but they got to start working on it now, which I think they are, and they're gonna try to cut rates in September, and we'll probably get another rate cut in October or November, whenever the next meeting is, and they'll probably be cutting rates for the foreseeable future because the jobs market is worse than expected. We still have a PPI report coming out tomorrow and a CPI report on Thursday, which will tell us what inflation's doing. But right now, I think the main focus is the jobs market, and the economy is weaker than expected, and that's going to cause inflation to go down anyways. So they don't need to worry about inflation, in my opinion, as much as they were worrying about it. They have to start worrying about people losing their jobs and being able to put food on the table. Okay. So I think that's going to come front and center, and this should be a boon for the markets going forward. Interest rates are good for risk assets like Bitcoin, like crypto, like stocks. In the short term, just as we digest this information, it might cause a little bit of a downdraft in the markets, and it might actually just end up being a buying opportunity, in my opinion, because I don't think this is the end of the world as long as they're going to actually do something about it. We have gotten interest rate cuts back in 2019, when the market was doing fine but on shaky ground, and I just think that that's going to happen with this time around. We're just going to have probably some interest rate cuts, and then once they feel like they got a good handle on it, they'll probably stop cutting interest rates, and the market will be fine, in my opinion. Economy should be fine. Okay. So anyways, moving on from there, let's take a look at the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's right now currently trading at 111,000 $130. Today we actually came down to 110,700. So we actually did get a drop in the markets here. Um, let's go into the 1 hour time frame so we can see where that drop came in. And it came in around like 10 o'clock this morning is when that news came out about the jobs division number. And we were trading at about 112,700 before that number came out for Bitcoin. And then the following hour after that, around 11 a.m., we actually came down to $110,765 here on Coinbase Exchange. And we're trying to stay on this 1 hour, on this 200 moving average on the 1 hour time frame. Could provide some support here at $111,000, and we're just literally teetering on the brink of losing it right now. Okay, but that's what we have here on the charts so far, showing us. We had some weaker than expected numbers in, Bitcoin and risk assets. They responded accordingly, and this could just be another buying opportunity as we get more information going into tomorrow about inflation. If inflation is not as bad as expected, then this could definitely be a buying opportunity, because that would signify that the Federal Reserve doesn't have to worry about interest rates anymore. I mean, they don't have to worry about inflation anymore, and they can focus on the jobs market and actually put in some rate cuts for damn sure going into next week and the following months here. Okay, so we're actually rooting for inflation to actually not be bad tomorrow, and this could be a buying opportunity if that's the case. So place your bets accordingly, put your stop losses in as you need to. Okay, but this could just be another buying opportunity for us to buy some cheaper crypto and some cheaper stocks here as we get more data and get the relief that we're looking for with the Federal Reserve lowering interest rates. Now, tomorrow, if inflation, I'll be doing a live stream tomorrow as well. If inflation is actually still a problem, I still think they're going to lower interest rates, but instead of like people arguing about whether it's going to be a 25 or a 50 basis point cut, if inflation is still a problem tomorrow, if they're showing that inflation is still high, then it probably most likely the argument will be there is no argument. They're going to still do a 25 basis point cut, but then we have to start wondering how many more rate cuts are they going to do after that if inflation is still a problem. Okay, but this could be a buying opportunity, guys. For those who missed out on the rally that we had earlier on Monday and Tuesday. Okay. We could possibly be just putting in a higher low here compared to what we did over the weekend, and we could just be getting some cheaper crypto to be buying. To be honest, it all depends on the inflation tomorrow. So you're really playing. If you're trying to buy now, you're playing that inflation is not going to be bad tomorrow. If inflation is bad tomorrow, then we might just go sideways here on Bitcoin and stay at 111K. However, we do have some levels to look out below. That I have highlighted. The $108,000 area is still an area that I think Bitcoin could go down to if we show some significant weakness here, okay, for Bitcoin. Downside target, like I said, $108,000 according to the Fibonacci numbers here. I'm still looking for an upside if inflation is not that bad, and if we're going to focus on cutting interest rates going forward. I'm expecting the markets to welcome that news and actually send Bitcoin up to 114, 115K, which is the golden pocket retracement number that we've all been looking for here. This is a number that I think we can get back up to if things start becoming more bullish in the markets here for crypto. All right, let me get into the live chat, see what you guys are saying in the live chat here. And let me say hello to John316. I see you in the live chat here on YouTube, John. I actually bought I went long on Cronos, trying to catch the fall that we had this morning here on crypto. So I'm now with you on trying to root for Cronos to go up to higher prices. I'm just catching up on the chat here. Ahmed Bad Day says, we going down? I guess is that a statement or is that a question? We're going down right now, but this could be a buying opportunity in my opinion. Idris as asking about World Liberty Finance. You love to play those risky bets, huh? With the newer, brand new crypto coins. I guess I could put that down as a request that you put in for World Liberty. So let me go ahead and write that down. And then I'll take a look at any other requests you guys have here. We're starting to get into the question and answer part of this live stream here. Yep, so we will look at World Liberty Finance. And I think that's it for now as far as requests go. Yeah. Let's look at World Liberty Finance. See how that one's doing. World Liberty Finance currently trading at 19 cents, down 6% today. I believe we looked at this one yesterday, and I had to go into the 1 hour time frame to actually get some moving averages to show up here. This is a brand spanking new token that came out, first started trading on Binance Monday, September 1st. Okay, and what do we got here for World Liberty Finance? Good to see that you bottom out. Well, it looks like you bottomed out here on Thursday. This thing got as low as 16 cents. Then you had a swing high that got up as high as about 24.5 cents here on Sunday. So I can do a Fibonacci off of that, measuring from swing low to swing high. And this is what I get for a Fibonacci here. You are currently bouncing off of the 0.382 level here at 19 cents, 0.1934 pennies to be exact, is your 0.382 level. Now, if we continue being weaker here, we could come down to the 0.236 level, which has a lot more confluence with the price action where we traded sideways there for a little bit here on Friday. So 18 cents might be where you come down to if you're going to continue being weak here on World Liberty. Let's look at the oscillators, see what the oscillators are doing here on the 1 hour time frame. Obviously, you were oversold back here on Thursday. Right now, you are at 30.49, so you're getting close to being oversold again here on World Liberty Finance. Could be a buying opportunity. Let's see. MACD is showing that this buying pressure has died down and you're getting into some selling pressure. On the MACD, on the 1 hour time frame, if you're using the MACD, I would wait until you start seeing a pink candle show up here, which means that you might be putting in your low. Okay, when you see that, when the pink candle starts showing up, that means selling pressure dies down. Okay, doesn't mean that it can't start picking up again, but usually I try to at least enter when I start seeing pink candles showing up. I'll show you here, like back here, the pink candles were starting to show up and selling pressure was dying down, only for it to increase again with red candles here, and then you get the pink candle. So MACD is one way to play things, to at least try to catch a low, but just know that it could always change again and just continue dropping on you for the price and the selling pressure. So yeah, we had that selling pressure here, right? Back here on Sunday. Oh, let me get rid of that. Let me go ahead and lock that in. But I have to adjust my indicators here. Maybe I'll get rid of this one for now. But you can see, back here on Sunday, selling pressure was dying down, right? And you might have caught the low here, but actually you didn't, because the MACD, the red candles came back in on the selling pressure and you came down a little bit further. Okay, so even though you might think you're catching the low here on World Liberty Finance, just keep in mind that it could go lower. We could come down to 18 cents, and then of course you'll see more red candles showing up on the MACD if that's the case. Alright, so Stochastic RSI is low. If you wanted to take your chance on World Liberty Finance, you could buy now and then put a stop loss right below the candlewick low here at 19 cents, okay? But just keep in mind that 19 cents might not hold, and you might have to come down to 18 cents to see how that holds, okay? So that's what I got there for World Liberty Finance, okay? Downside target 19 cents. Upside target, you're just trying to get back up to at least maybe 22 cents here. With your 0.76 retracement is hanging out. You're kind of trading sideways at that level on Sunday afternoon here. And then it would be nice if you can get back up to 24 cents. And if you do that, that's like at least I believe that's at least a 20% move up in price. Yeah, if you just get back up to 24 cents, yeah, that's a 23% gain right there. Okay, and if you get back up to like 22 cents, that's about a 14% gain. Slap on 10x leverage if you're leverage trading, and that's 140% gain right there. So that's World Liberty Finance right there. Mike wants to look at Nvidia and Marvel. Sure, I can do that for you. Thank you, Mike, for the request. Let's take a look at Nvidia and Marvel. Marvel Technologies, I believe that's the one. All right. Moving on to Nvidia. Where's Nvidia? There it is. Okay. Alright, so we're now looking at Nvidia, currently trading at $168.56. Let me get back into the daily time frame here. If you want smaller time frames, let me know. If I feel like it's warranted, I'll go into smaller time frames. But we'll stick with the daily chart for now for Nvidia. So we have Nvidia currently trading at $168.60. We were in an uptrend for the longest time, especially back here in May, earlier this year. We kept bouncing off of this uptrend, this yellow line that I drew here, but looks like we lost the uptrend on Nvidia somewhere around like Friday, August 29th, right after the earnings report. Earnings wasn't as good. Earnings were still good, they just weren't good enough for them to justify sending this thing up to higher prices here. So we did come down after earnings report here. How much lower could we come down to? I mean, you do have the 50-day moving average below you at $151. That could be a very sweet area to buy some Nvidia if you're able to do so, if you're lucky to do so. Okay. Let's go into the 4-hour time frame, see what the 4-hour candles are showing. Okay, so we do have some moving averages here on the 4-hour time frame that could give us some support here for Nvidia. You got the 100 moving average at $162. That's right below you, $6 below you. That could provide some support if traders and investors decide that's a good area to start buying some Nvidia. And then you also got the $150 level here, where the 200 moving averages on the 4-hour time frame. I think that's an even better area to try to buy some Nvidia. So you could start layering in your bets here. You know, maybe you can get filled where you could buy some more Nvidia at $162. But then I would also try to see if you could buy some more at $150, where that 200 moving average is sitting at for the 4-hour time frame here. All right. Let me go ahead and turn on the. I'm gonna turn on the VRVP. See if there's any other confluence here with the levels here. All right. So I have the VRVP indicator off to the right, and the VRVP indicator is showing that we do have some high volume here at about $171. That could be resistance if we do go up to higher prices for Nvidia. Then the volume drops off after that, and you get a big gap in the VRVP, and you don't really get much high volume here on the VRVP until you get to $157 here. Guys, I have a phone call here. I gotta see who this is real quick. Let me just pause the live stream here. Hello?
Hello,
Yes, this is Damien. Good. Alright, I am back with you guys. Sorry about that. I had to take a phone call, important phone call there. Let's get back into the charts here. We were looking at Nvidia. And let me just double check to make sure I turn the mic on for you guys here. Quick sound check. Alright, I can hear myself. Good. Alright. So, yeah, back to Nvidia. I still think on the 4-hour time frame that you got $150 is a good area to get into if you're able to get into Nvidia. You do have some support here on the high volume on the VRVP at 157 and 160 bucks. That's confluent with the 100 moving average on the 4-hour time frame. So I'd be aiming for, realistically, for fair value, $162 if you're trying to buy some cheaper Nvidia. I mean, anywhere between 160 162. You might get lucky enough to get some at 150. Now, going forward, going to higher prices here, obviously, you know, if Nvidia wants to start going higher prices, there's going to be some resistance at $171, and then you got some more resistance at $181. Got a pretty big value gap there, and then after that, I mean, it's new all-time highs again for Nvidia. So this could be a buying opportunity for Nvidia, but you could get even better buying opportunities near 160, 162, in my opinion here. All right. Now we're going to take a look at Marvel for Mike Lane here. Right now we're looking at Marvel Technologies, currently trading at $67.21. Let me just get rid of the VRVP for now. We can pull it up later. Let me get into the daily time frame as well. So Marvel Technologies had some better days here back in January when this thing was trading at 127 bucks. Almost like a 50% haircut here. And it looks like you did have an earnings report recently. Bad earnings report. It was to the downside. Not too bad of an earnings report. It's almost like near expectations, but I guess not good enough to send the stock higher. Okay. And after that earnings report on Thursday, August 28th, you got a gap down, and you came down to like about the 0.5 and the 0.32 retracement level here. Let's see, we came as low as like 61 bucks. Yeah, $61. That was the target for the Fibonacci guys here, was $61 here. And let me see if I go in the 4-hour time frame. Yeah, there's no moving average support on the 4-hour time frame. You're below all the moving averages on the 4-hour time frame, which could mean it could be undervalued. On the daily time frame, you're still below the moving averages as well. So this thing is definitely undervalued compared to what it's done previously. So you could treat this as a buying opportunity, anywhere between $61 and $66. I mean, you're at 67 right now. Okay. If there's going to be further weakness to the downside, you would expect maybe Marvel could come down to the 0.236 level at $56.33. And if I turn on the VRVP, let's see if that agrees with it. You do got a value area low, this white line, around $54. So I think $54, $56 could still be in play if there's further weakness in the stock. And if we're going to continue going to lower prices, maybe $54, $56 actually holds, and that's where traders might come in and start placing their bets to go long on Marvel. Alright. But as far as upside targets go, you would expect Marvel to at least get back up to the 618 retracement at $70, and you got a lot of volume here. A lot of people were buying Marvel at 70 bucks. So there could be some resistance as people are just at break even and they might want to sell and get out of it and go into something else. Then you got the 786 retracement at $77. That could act as resistance as well. And you also got some high volume here at that $77 as well. And then we would like to see Marvel get up to $85 like it did back here on July 30th. but it would have to try to pierce through that 200-day moving average. That 200-day moving average should act as resistance. So I think your take profit target in the near term should be $81 to $85, or I should say that should be a long-term target for Marvel here. Anywhere between 81 to 85 is an area that you should consider selling some of your Marvel, taking some profit. But near term, like in the short term, in the next few days and weeks here, I would expect us to get back up to $70 and possibly 77 for Marvel Technologies. Alright. So, we're kind of low on requests here. I guess we could take a look at a crypto that I got into earlier today. This morning I looked at Chronos, and I like what I see on Chronos, so let's go ahead and take a look at Chronos. See why I decided to jump in on it. We're currently looking at Chronos trading at 25 cents right now. I'll get rid of that VRVP. And Chronos, right? Chronos got as high as about 39 cents on August 28th, not too long ago, about a couple of weeks ago. And it's been bleeding off and flagging out, creating like a bull flag here on the daily time frame here. And we did get some crazy price action early this morning when this thing went up to like 28 cents on Coinbase Exchange. Okay. And we have tested the 0.32 level at 24.5 cents here. I think that could act as support. We also got the 21 EMA here. Could provide support at 23 cents. So I think anywhere between 23, 24.5 cents is a good area to start buying some Chronos if you're able to do so. Right now we're at 25 cents, so not too far off. I'll probably put the stop loss at like 23 cents if I wasn't leverage trading it. But let's go into the 1 hour time frame. This is a little bit interesting in the 1 hour time frame. So Chronos did get some bids here this morning. I did not get a chance to buy. I was actually looking to buy Chronos, and then I saw this thing literally happening while I was looking at it. I was like, oh my god, what the hell? Chronos is... Somebody else must have caught what I was looking at and decided to buy a good amount of Chronos here. And on the 1 hour time frame, we saw Chronos go up 12% in 1 hour. From like 24.5 cents to 27, 28 cents here. So that happened, right? And I didn't buy, I'm not going to buy a green candle. I waited. I actually waited till Chronos came back down to like the levels that it's at right now, around the 24.5, 25 cent area. So I ended my long right here. But this is good to see that there is potential for this thing to go up. It just, as soon as we went up, we got knocked back down again. So I ended my long somewhere over here, and I think I got my stop loss like 24 cents here. Let's see what I did actually. Let's take a look at Mexi, which I normally trade at. And I got in on Chronos about 25 cents. Okay, not too far off from where we are right now. Okay, 25.252 cents to be exact. And I got my stop loss at 0.248 pennies. So I'm keeping it really tight. I'm not really trying to lose too much. If I'm wrong, I can try to get back in again at a better entry maybe. But I'm only gonna lose about $21 on that stop loss if I'm wrong about Chronos. But I am targeting 30 cents on Chronos. And the reason why I'm targeting 30 cents, I have to get back into the daily time frame again. The reason why I'm targeting 30 cents is that is the 618 Fibonacci for Chronos. If I'm lucky, maybe we get to 30 cents. I would be happy if this thing just gets up to the 0.5 retracement at 27 cents. Okay, somewhere in this area, I would probably close out the long. But if we get some crazy price action to the upside, I would like to cash out at 30 cents. So maybe take profit target 1 would be about 27 cents. Take profit target 2 would be about 30 cents here on Chronos. And for the long term, guys, you're just trying to hope that Chronos can get above 30 cents and actually get up to like 39 cents all over again, like you did 2 weeks ago. Josh Arim wants to look at Dogecoin and Solana. Okay, I got you. Let me go ahead and write those down. We got Doge and Solana. And then you asked me a question, Damien, what do you think we are getting started with alt season? I think we did get started on old season. I think it started in July when we got the stablecoin bill passed through Congress. And you can see it on the charts. That's when a lot of the old coins went nuts. That's when, you know, XRP went up to like $3.66, you know. And Ethereum started cashing bids and going up to like $4,000. So I think that is the start of the old season. I think we're starting to get into the full swing of things with old season here. I think there won't be any questions or any doubts about us being old season next month in November, where I'm expecting higher prices for the alts, especially with interest rate cuts. If they're coming and we're gonna get some more, I'm expecting an old season in the next few months here. But yeah, let's go ahead and look at Dogecoin, and then we'll take a look at Solana. So we're currently looking at Dogecoin, currently trading at 24 cents. I think we did get as high as like 25 cents earlier. We almost got up to 25 cents, just shy of it here on Coinbase. We went up to 0.249 pennies here on Dogecoin. And we have some levels to look at. The reason why we were looking for 25 cents was that was like close to that 0.786 level here for Dogecoin. 0.257 pennies is supposedly a resistance for Dogecoin on the Fibonacci, and you know we did get up to like 0.255 pennies here on August 14th, so I would expect that to be a resistance right there. This area right here is going to be a resistance for Dogecoin in the near future. But yeah, I did see Dogecoin. I was looking at Dogecoin. I was looking at a lot of coins on the weekend, this weekend. I was like, okay, we had a bad jobs report, but that usually means that they're going to lower interest rates. So if we can look past the jobs report and look towards the future, we're probably going to get some interest rate cuts, which is going to benefit the market. So we should actually see prices going up in the long term here, okay? And I was looking for old coins to get into, and Dogecoin was one of them. But I decided to do some other coins like Brett and Pudgy Penguins. There's only so many bets you can place, you know, and there's so many coins out there. But Dogecoin was one that I was eyeballing, so I get it. And you know, on Sunday we saw Dogecoin go up like 5.9%, and then Monday we saw it go up like 5.6%. So like you got a pretty good 10% move up. Moving from 21 cents up to like 25 cents. That's almost like a 20% move up in price. So Dogecoin did some things past couple of days. And if Dogecoin decides to come back down to lower prices, I would expect some support at the 618 like we already did today. We came down to like the 23 cent level here, 0.233 pennies. And that's where Dogecoin went, 0.233 pennies for the lows for today. And that's that 618 Fibonacci level that we're looking at, okay? Excuse me. Now, if we go down to lower prices, then, you know, maybe we come down to that 0.5 retracement all over again, which would be a shame because that means this was all for nothing and you did like a round trip here. But I would expect 21 cents to 21.5 cents to hold like it did over the last couple of weeks here for Dogecoin. You know, some of us were expecting Dogecoin to get down to 20 cents, and it never did that. But there is some support below you at 20 cents as well. That's where your moving averages are hanging out at. And that's also where the 0.382 retracement is hanging out at, around around 20 cents here, okay? So those are your downside targets. I would expect Dogecoin to get some support right now, but if it doesn't, maybe 21.5 cents or then 20 cents could be some support. And then going forward to the upside, 25 or 26 cents could be a target. And then 28 cents like we did here in July could be the next target for Dogecoin. At least in the near future, though. My Fibonacci disappeared on me. Oh, there it is. Weird. But I would expect like a 1618, 37 cents could be a long-term target for Dogecoin if things get really bullish during altcoin season here. All right, Idris, you said, oh, I'm sorry, no, Nicholas said that he bought at the exact bottom of the dip. The dip for what exactly? Can you elaborate? What exactly did you buy the dip on? All right. Moving on from Dogecoin, we'll look at Solana. And then Josh Areem is asking about XRP. All right, yeah, we'll take a look at XRP. Why not? Solana currently trading at $214.58. What is this thing doing? This thing has been in a rising wedge that I've identified, which usually breaks out to the downside. But if this thing is extremely bullish, it could still break out to the upside out of this rising wedge. I'm not all too worried about it, but if we do break down to the downside, I'd expect a rather shallow pullback down to like $195 all over again, which is your 0.5 retracement for your Fibonacci numbers here. I would expect Solana to come down to $195. Would be a good area to scoop up some relatively cheap Solana. Okay. But if Solana does break out to the upside, you're probably going to see $253 is a retracement level, the 0.786 retracement level. It's also a level where you topped out at here in November of last year, and you did sideways trading here in January. So I'm expecting $253 to come up on deck for Solana as we continue being bullish. If we do continue being bullish, and eventually we would want to get back up to the all-time high here at $295. That is a second take profit target in the future here for Solana. But I think Solana's doing fine. Let's just take a look at the oscillators real quick, see what Solana's doing in the oscillators. RSI is at 59, so you're in bullish control territory. And MACD, looking kind of weak, but you are getting some buying pressure right now. I would like to see some more extreme buying pressure on Solana like you did here in July to get some good price action to the upside. But that's fine for now. Stochastic RSI is in like neutral territory, slightly bullish territory. You have room to go more to the upside with higher stochastics than what Solana is doing right now. And then the cheat sheet, you did get a green buy dot here on Monday saying that you should be buying Solana. And if I think you did that, you would have caught a little bit of the move up to the upside. We did see Solana get, what did we see? We saw Solana go up to higher prices, right? Yeah, we did. We saw Solana, I think, go up to like $219. Yeah, $219.77. Not quite $220 on Coinbase. But had you listened to the green buy dot that came in on Monday, you would have got that 3% move on Sunday, and then another 3% move up, and you would have eventually got up to like $220 here, $219. So yeah, Marcus FVB definitely helps, especially if you're not sure if you're bullish or bearish. It said that you could be bullish on Solana on September 8th here. All right, moving on to XRP. All right, we're currently checking out XRP, currently trading at $2.94. I think I could have remembered seeing XRP at $3. They get up to, yeah, we did get up to like $3.03 here on Coinbase Exchange. And XRP is gonna have to contend against this 618 and 65 golden pocket level between $3 and $3.04. Right now, that's acting as resistance. Eventually, we want to get back up there and actually start using it as support to launch us up to higher prices where we could get up to the 786 retracement at $3.28. I think that's the next target for XRP after we can show the world here that XRP is going to stay at $3 and not go below $3. Okay, but if $3 is going to be a resistance here for XRP, then we could come visit the 0.5 retracement all over again at 278 like we did here back in the beginning of September, end of August here. Okay, but XRP, Very frustrating to see that it's making lower highs here. You're in a downtrend. Let's see, are we starting to break out of the downtrend? If I connect the highs that we've been going through, yeah, you try to get above that uptrend. If I can just draw this out here, let me just try to hide this real quick here. You try to get above that downtrend today, but you got rejected. So the downtrend is still intact on XRP, making lower highs here. Get above this downtrend, and then I think you'll start seeing more bullish price action for XRP. But we're kind of getting close to it. So hopefully we can just go sideways for now, and then catch some bids later to get above this downtrend. I think if you get above like 303, 304, you'll be qualifying yourself to be getting out of the downtrend on XRP. But yeah, XRP in a downtrend still, unfortunately. All right, I see Lauren's in the chat. You must be on your lunch break, Lauren. I know you did that yesterday. And my TikTok guys, you guys are pretty quiet today. You guys have any requests, any stocks or crypto you guys want to take a look at? You guys are giving me kind of like a little bit of a break today. Appreciate it. But yeah, we had a bad jobs report revision. Apparently, we've been losing more jobs than we thought we were making. I think they're doing this to make Donald Trump look bad. And it's just funny that we were making all these jobs when Biden was in power. But then all of a sudden when Donald Trump is in here, and I'm not trying to get all too political, but Donald Trump comes into the picture, and now they're saying, oh, we didn't make as many jobs as we said we did. Like, what is it? Like, what are we doing here? Like, I had a feeling that they were lying, and that they were making Biden look better than what he really was doing with the jobs market, because you could see it. Like, you talk to your friends and family, you can see people struggling to get jobs, especially like right out of college. It's been tough for people to find jobs, and when they do find jobs, it's not the hours that they want. It's not like the pay that they want, and they have to get another job if they're able to, doing like a part-time job or a gig economy job. But another thing that we have to take in consideration is that the jobs that we might have thought we were making might be related to immigration, and they've been cracking down on immigration and the ICE raids. So we're losing jobs in construction and the restaurant and travel and leisure business because of them cracking down on immigration. So yeah, I think that's probably showing up in the numbers as well as to why we're losing jobs so quickly here. But not going to get political. You guys can talk about that in the live chat if you want. But my opinion is that, yeah, I think the market has been weak. The jobs market has been weak. And they're finally bringing it to the attention. It's finally showing up in the government data. And they can actually lower interest rates like they should have done earlier this year. And they were doing it last year, and then they stopped. But they should have never stopped, in my opinion. But whatever. They got afraid about the Donald Trump's tariffs, and they thought that Donald Trump's tariffs were gonna cause inflation, and it might have done a little bit, but it's a one-time thing, so it's like transitory inflation, and I don't think they should be worrying about inflation as much as they should be worrying about the jobs market, in my opinion. More important is make sure people can put food on the table rather than, yeah, prices going up is a problem, but I run a rental car business, and I've been lowering the rental car prices on my rental cars because people aren't able to pay higher prices. I've had to lower the prices so that way the cars can still stay rented, because that's what the market is showing me right now. So I think if I had to lower my prices, I'm pretty sure other people had to do the same thing to keep themselves in business. And that's what they want. They want prices to go down, right? That's what I did. I brought my prices down just to keep my business running. And I think inflation is not really as big of an issue as they thought it was. Anyways, that's my take on inflation and jobs report. Let's see what else is looking at. We'll take a look at Ethereum, I guess, for now. Because I did title the video Ethereum as one of the hashtags on my YouTube live stream here. We have Ethereum currently trading at $4,285. It's just flatlining right now, not doing much. Yesterday, Ethereum went up 0%. It didn't go down. It went up 0.001%. It started yesterday at $4,305. It ended at $4,305.84. Yeah, Ethereum not really doing much. Okay. Right now, Ethereum is actually below that $4,300 mark. It's at $4,286, and I think you can strategically place a stop loss where you could buy some Ethereum if you want to right now. And you're catching, Ethereum was at $4,900 like 2 weeks ago. It's come down $700 from where it was before. I think you could catch, basically this could be the low here. It's making it easy for you, but it could go lower. And if it does go lower, you can prevent yourself from suffering the pain by putting a stop loss. I would probably put a stop loss at like 42. Well, I know I put a stop loss at $4,200, but you could put a tight stop loss below what we did here on Saturday at 42.37. Or if you want to make it a little bit looser than that, or catch, the candle wick low over here, Ethereum did come down to 42.09 on last Monday, September 1st. I think you put your stop loss right there, and if you're wrong, then you're not going to get hurt too bad if Ethereum does go to lower prices. I'm expecting it to get into this buy zone that I've been highlighting here, anywhere between $3,900 and $4,170 in that area. I think that's a good buy zone. We've only came into that buy zone for Ethereum for like a couple of days here on Tuesday, August 19th and Wednesday, August 20th. Before we came right back up out of that buy zone. But I think this is a good buy zone if you're able to do so, if you're lucky enough to get some Ethereum at that price. And that's based on some Fibonacci here, and it's based on some VRVP data here. We got the VRVP. You can see that there is a gap here, and if we lose, about $4,200 here on Ethereum, then we should get some support here at like $3,800. So I could probably extend this down to $3,800. Anywhere between $3,800 to $4,100 could be a good area to buy some Ethereum if you're able to do so. And also back here in the daily time frame, we have a candle wick high here that got up to like 39.41. So I would expect there to be some support at this level for Ethereum at $3,900. And if Ethereum does start catching some bids here, I think we were planning on Ethereum getting up to like $5,000. We have a 1618 that says Ethereum could get up to like $5,800. That's using previous Fibonacci, measuring from $4,100 all the way down to the $1,400 level that Ethereum was at back in April. It's still saying that the 1618 could put us at $5,800 Ethereum. John's in the chat again, and he's saying Damien is loving Cronos. Yes, I'm still your friend, John. I've always been your friend. I just now decided that now's a good time to buy Cronos after we had a significant pullback. I think now, Cronos is worth getting into, and it has a good use case. It's an exchange token. I think Cronos will be around for a while, but I think in the short term, I can make some money on Cronos with a leverage trade. I might actually buy some Cronos. I might swap out and sell some XRP to go buy some Cronos, or I might even sell some of my Aptos to get some more Cronos. And maybe even some ZVCN, who knows? Josh Areem is saying, Damien, which upcoming IPO do you think is better, Gemini, Figure, or Klarna? Didn't? Oh no, there was a company that came out called Figma. I don't know much about Figure or Klarna. Are those all cryptocurrency related stocks right there? I know Gemini is supposed to be the what? Gemini Crypto Exchange. If you just let me know, I'm not familiar with those three. So to answer your question, I really don't know which one is gonna be better. Josh Areem wants to look at Webull. All right, we'll take a look at Webull. Guys, I might make this a shorter live stream than I normally do. I normally live stream for like 2 hours, but there are some things I need to do this afternoon. I want to make sure I have enough energy to do that. So I might end the live stream like 30 minutes from now. So get your requests in if you haven't already. Webull. We're taking a look at Webull right now. Currently trading at $13.33. I have measured a Fibonacci from the swing low here on July 16th to the swing high here on July 24th. And it gave me some numbers to look out here for on Webull. Let me just make sure this is locked in. Okay, it is. Alright, so Webull has a 0.236 retracement, which is a very steep pullback. And that 0.236 retracement is at $13.61. You had a steep pullback from the $18 level that you did back in July 24th here. So this 0.236 level should be a good area to buy some Webull if you're still bullish on this asset. However, we have lost this this red zone, this 0.236 level. We lost that on September 2nd. We back tested it on September 3rd. We lost it again. Came and back tested it on Monday, September 8th, yesterday. And it looks like we're kind of back testing it again. But we need to get above this 0.236 level. I think this is a level that the investors and traders, professional traders, are eyeballing this level here, 1360. We need to get above that. If we don't, then you know there's something still wrong with Webull, and Webull might have to go to lower prices. I'll be down to like $12 if it needs to generate enough demand and interest in it. But yeah, 1360 is your boss, the boss that you need to beat to go to the next level. Like it's a video game, right? And if you can get past 1360, then 1450 is going to be the next level to look out for. Yeah, 1450, and then you get the 50-day moving average, this green line here. It's starting to show up on the chart now at $14.50. I'm sorry, $14.25 is where that 50-day moving average is starting to show up. If I just hide this real quick, you're going to see that the 50-day moving average just started coming in around August 28th. So we got that as a possible line that we can use for data. And I think it's going to act as resistance. So 1425 and 1450 is going to be a tough area for you to get past on Webull. At least for the guys who use moving averages, they're going to probably use that as their take profit target. But I would expect Webull, if it is going to be bullish and try to make a run to the upside, I would expect the 618 to be a level that it should get back up to. And that's at $15.97 or $16. I think $16 is a level where Webull could actually possibly make a lower high if it's not going to be bullish. But I think $16 is an area for you to look out here for Webull. Let me just get rid of this. I think I'll keep the downtrend line though. Yeah. I got rid of that uptrend because we're no longer in an uptrend. We're still in a downtrend here, and we're also making lower lows here on Webull. So you just don't know how far lower it will go. You're hoping that this is a low. You're hoping that you don't go below 12.50, because if you go below 12.50, then $12 is next, and then maybe even like $10. But yeah, this is a high risk trade. You're waiting for some confirmation that you're actually going to either make a double bottom or a higher low. This could be the lowest low for now, but you don't know yet. You gotta at least get above this 1360 level here. Then come down, make a higher low, and then you know, yeah, this thing is ready to at least go up to higher prices. It's changing the trend. It's making higher lows and possibly a higher high, but you haven't done that yet. All right. Let's see. Gemini is a crypto exchange. Figure is fintech on a blockchain. Klarna is like a buy now, pay later. And I'm assuming those are all crypto related, right? Yeah. And those are IPOs that they're coming out with IPOs. Do any of those? I know Gemini, I think, has their own cryptocurrency exchange coin. Am I able to pull up like Klarna? Let me just see if I can find Klarna. USD. No, there's no crypto for Klarna. What about Figure? Does Figure? Figure has a crypto. Looks like it. Poloniex? Action Figure? No, that's a meme coin. Alright. You guys are very quiet in the chat. Let's see if I can look at some live trades. Maybe we could do a live trade here. Let's see. How will my positions looking so far? I took profits. I had a pretty good day yesterday, but today is just a normal day. I got some green and some red. Looks like Sui's up a little bit on me, 34%. Farcoin's up 86% for me. Floki and Kronos, I entered this morning. They're down, so they're kind of new trades waiting to play out. And then Pepe. When did I get into Pepe? I think I got into Pepe last night or this morning. I can't remember. But Pepe's up a little bit for me, barely. So I got like 5 trades that I'm managing here on Mexi Exchange. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was trying to short Mix. Mix was looking very interesting. Yeah, I'm still looking at the chart right here, but this thing is doing a lot of crazy things. Going down and up, and it has a lot of volume and a lot of percentage gains, upside and downside here. Let me just get into the daily time frame so you can see Mix has shot up like a mother trucker. It went up 2 days ago. It went up like 298%. No, yesterday it went up 298%. Jesus Christ. And then before that it was up 166%. So this thing is cashing some bids. However, this is worth taking a shot at shorting. You just don't know where's this thing gonna top out at. Looks like we topped out at 1834 today. But that was like roughly like 5 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. So this thing could still want to go to higher prices. I did try to short it, you know, at like 1650 over here. And then it pushed through my stop loss, and I ended up getting stopped out at like 1760. So yeah, this one is one I'm trying to short. But I think it still has some momentum. Yeah. I mean, you could short right now and probably put your stop loss at 1850. And you might be catching the top. Let's look at it on TradingView. I like looking on things on TradingView better than Nexi. So we'll look at the RSI and stochastics here for mix. You can see on the daily time frame we are clearly overbought. We're at an RSI of like 97, but it can stay overbought. That's the thing. It can stay overbought and still go to higher prices. And stochastic RSI is also clearly overbought as well, but it can stay overbought. And we do have on the MACD a very strong green candle here. Buying pressure is very strong on this thing. I guess I should wait for buying pressure to show a light green candle, and then I know it's done going up for now. Let's get into the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, see, like, look at this MACD. On the 1 hour time frame, the selling pressure is dying down, so this thing could possibly go back up again. And look at this, we're talking about it right now. It's at $18.52, making new all-time highs again on the Mexi exchange here. Looks like the futures. I was trading futures. The futures is lagging behind here, but this thing is probably going to jump up right now. Yeah. All right. This thing might be too strong. The force is too strong with this one. I don't think it's worth shorting until we see some weakness showing up. There is some bearish divergence starting to show up on the 1 hour time frame, but that could still play out, and this thing could still go to higher prices. Let's see if it does go to higher prices. I'm expecting. Let me go ahead and fix that real quick. I'm expecting this thing to at least try to make it up to $22, and it could even get up to $26 if it's going to continue to remain extremely bullish here. But I gotta save my energy, guys, for later on today here, and I'm not getting any requests, so let's look at Bitcoin. We'll finish off on Bitcoin, and then that's gonna be it for this live stream. Bitcoin currently trading at 111,100, basically right where we started the live stream off. Not really doing too much here, but I think this could be a buying opportunity, especially if inflation is going to be not bad tomorrow. If inflation's at expectations or lower than expectations, then I think this is a buying opportunity, and we could see Bitcoin go up to $113,400 is my next target to the upside. And then after that, 113,000 level here, I am looking for Bitcoin to get up to $114,000, $115,000 to the upside. Now, downside target, if we're not able to get back above $112,000, that could be a problem. We could see Bitcoin come down to lower prices here. We could revisit the 0.32 level at $108,000 Bitcoin. And that's also where the 100-day moving average could provide support at $107,500 to $108,000. I think that's a good area to try to scoop up some cheaper Bitcoin if you're trying to buy some cheaper Bitcoin. But I think Bitcoin's fine for now. It's just not really doing much. Like, we're only up, we're only down 0.9%, but you know, tomorrow we could be up 1 or 2% and just cancel today's price action out. So yeah, guys, that's it for this live stream here. Catch me in the next live stream. Should be very interesting price action with the PPI report coming out. It was bad last month. It could show that things are still bad going into this month, and we'll just have to see. And then CPI report comes out on Thursday. I'll be live streaming on Thursday as well. But for now, guys, that's going to be it for this live stream. Good luck trading and investing in whatever asset you decide to get into. Take care, guys.